iOS versus Android, or iPhone versus Samsung. This is a debate which can go on and on and on and get nowhere. But today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a few things in which an iPhone is clearly better than an Android phone. Hey guys, my name is Akshy, welcome to TechnoAkshy, let's get started. The first thing is that iPhones are clearly faster than their equivalent Android phones. That's because Apple's processors have always been faster than Qualcomm Snapdragon processors. For example, the iPhone X scores much higher in a Geekbench result than the Samsung Galaxy S9. And even though the Snapdragon 845 is a really fast chip, Apple's A11 Bionic beats it by far. Apple chips have always been faster than Android phone chips, and it seems like in the near future they always will be. That's because Apple makes the software as well as the hardware on their phones. On the other hand, that in Android, the Android phone manufacturer makes the phone, but then Google makes the software, so they don't really fit in together. Now another thing is that iPhone software has always been a lot more smoother and clearer to run than Android. Many Android versions have had bloatware, and many phone manufacturers pre-install apps onto their phone, which makes the phone laggy and hang a lot. But iPhone's iOS has always been a clean and smooth interface and has always been a pleasure to use. iPhones are really responsive, they hardly ever lag out like many Android phones do, and the software is just a lot more smoother and clearer. Now another thing is that apps on iPhones run a lot better than they do on Android phones. That's because iOS apps are just developed to a much higher quality than Android phones are. Apple has a strict procedure to getting an app onto their App Store, when on Android, basically just about any random developer can just publish their app on the Google Play Store. To publish an app on the Apple App Store, it's a lot harder. You have to use Apple's proprietary software to actually make the app, and then it has to fit in with all the Apple's guidelines, which are quite strict. All the apps are actually verified through Apple's system, only then they can actually be published on the Apple App Store. But it's much easier to publish an app on the Play Store, and that's why Apple's quality of apps are a lot better, and the apps that you'll find on the Apple App Store are just made to a much better quality and run a lot more smoother than Android phones do. Now another thing is iPhone's build quality. iPhones have always been made up of the most premium materials. For example, the iPhone 4 and 4S were made out of glass and an aluminum band around the frame. But on the other hand, the Samsung Galaxy phones at the time were made out of cheap plastic with removable backs. But now Android phones have also come a far way and are made out of really premium materials as well, like glass and aluminum and steel. But for comparison, if you look at the design of the iPhone X, it's made out of stainless steel and glass. It just looks so elegant and good. While on the other hand, many Android phones are still using plastic and aluminum, which really do not stand up to Apple's quality. So that was it guys for this video. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and please leave your comments down below. I love to read them, and if you have any suggestions, please leave it down below in the comments box, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because that really means a lot, and I'll see you in my next one.